Hi, Professor Alarmoya, and welcome to my first of many Shine journals. We're going to be doing these journals with Hannah Keohane, as she is in another section of comparative politics, and she is on my Shine group. This Monday, at around midday, Hannah and I and a contingent of other Hamilton students went down to the Underground Cafe, a place where the teenage children of refugees are taught English to eventually move on to higher education and to a place in the U.S. workforce.
Keohane, and I'm a freshman in Hamilton. This past summer, I tutored a 13-year-old girl whose mother was an immigrant from Morocco, but working with refugees through Project Shine has definitely been different than anything I've experienced before. I was paired with 5 18-year-old refugees from Thailand. Dana, the teacher we worked with at the Underground Cafe, gave me a stack of short stories, and I had the students go around and read a sentence or two. Though some of the students struggled with this assignment more than others, I could tell that they all wanted to improve and were spending time outside of the classroom working on their language skills as well as inside the classroom.
As we made our way into Utica, I could only help but think how I would identify with these people. These people who had just come from faraway places, my students were mainly from Thailand. So I was left with a problem. Where in my own identity could I find common ground with these immigrants? Then I thought of it. My ancestors, coming from Denmark and Sweden, were immigrants once, and they had to be taught English and how to socialize in our society by Americans just like me. America is a country of immigrants, so that is where I looked to find common ground with my students. I was able to identify with them because of this shared identity.
Though I didn't talk to the students about their reasons for fleeing Thailand, I guessed based on the time of their arrival to the U.S. that the 2011 floods in Thailand influenced their move. Right now, these students are considered residential aliens by the state and are working towards citizenship. Once they've graduated from this program and achieved a GED, these students will most likely apply to community colleges before entering the workforce.
My students were vocational students, which meant that they were going directly from school into the workforce. This meant that the goal of their education was to fill an English level that would work in the workforce in the United States. The eventuality meaning that they would probably become citizens so they could work for the rest of their lives in the United States. Thailand, as where most of our refugees were from, is an export-dominated economy, which means that these refugees would be doing far different work from what they would be doing in Thailand if they still lived there. Though the economy in Thailand is largely capitalist and a market-based economy, the government doesn't really participate very much in the economy. As in the United States, it's not a command economy. The workers here would be doing more service-based jobs as opposed to production-based jobs, as their home economy is largely export-based. This meant that I was tutoring kids on how to interact in the consumer relations department and how to interact with their bosses and future coworkers. It wasn't as much how to build something, it was how to interact. And that was very important because it kind of differentiates the American economy, which is now largely service-based, from the Thai economy, which is a booming country right now because of its high production. Unfortunately, my students' level of English was not very high. What this meant is I had to do a lot of menial jobs with the students. While I enjoyed it, I found it incredibly challenging to deal with people who had never spoken English. It was also different that their home language, Thai, did not use English lettering. This meant teaching them how to read in the first place was incredibly difficult because they had no frame of reference. They weren't used to the kind of language. While I found this difficult, I also found it highly rewarding, and it kind of taught me about how we view our own language. All in all, I really enjoyed my Shine experience, and I'm really excited for next time. I'll see you then.
See you next time.